Hey everybody, Yankee here. Today I want to take some time to address a comment that came in on one of my older videos. This video was regarding what do they do in the movie industry with firearms that drives you crazy? What's some trope that you see again and again in movies that drives you crazy? Well, this person answered, it drives me crazy when Alec Baldwin murders someone and faces no consequences. And I think we all know what they're referring to, the fact that Alec Baldwin killed somebody and was not being charged with a crime. Well, there's a couple of things wrong with this sentence here, this statement. First off, he is being charged. He's actually being charged. Him and the armorer both are facing criminal charges right now. So you might have written this before that. I don't think you did. I think you wrote today. So obviously you missed that, but he is being charged. So you'll be happy about that. Now, the other part of this comment that I think is incorrect or misguided that I want to address is that he murdered someone. He is not guilty of murder. Murder requires premeditation. You have to say, I want that MFer dead, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get him dead. That's murder. It requires you to do it intentionally, even plan it out. That's murder. What Baldwin is guilty of is involuntary manslaughter. That's what he's being charged with. That's basically saying you were grossly negligent, and because of that, someone else was harmed, in this case, killed. Now, should he go to jail for this? That's what a lot of people are crying for in the gun community. They're like, put him away for 25 years, put him away for life, throw away the key, all that stuff. And I know why people are doing this, because Baldwin is someone they don't like, because he is such a fervent anti-Second Amendment, anti-constitutional advocate. He doesn't like the Constitution. He doesn't like some of the things it says. I'm sure he likes some things, but when it comes to the Constitution, you don't get to pick and choose. You either accept the Constitution or you change things that you don't like. You don't get to pick and choose which parts apply and which ones don't. Doing that's kind of like, Christians that say, well, I believe what it says here, but not what it says there in the Bible. Either you believe all of it or you believe none of it. Same thing with the Constitution. He clearly is not a big fan of the Constitution. And because of that, a lot of people, now that he has been involved in something kind of ironic, that someone who's saying no one should have guns and most people can't be trusted with guns, feels different that he about himself holding the gun, and then when he does, he kills someone. He did kill someone, not murdered them, but he did kill them. So it's a little bit ironic. It would almost be funny if someone hadn't got harmed. So people are wanting him to be punished partially because of who he is. And we can't do that as a community. We actually shouldn't be hoping he goes to jail. We should be hoping he is punished in accordance to the law and accordance to the crime he created, in proportion. You shouldn't be charged in this country with crimes more severe than what you actually committed, and you shouldn't receive punishment that is unjust. Cruel and unusual punishment is not allowed. And this was an accident. This wasn't premeditated murder. It's just like saying you drove over to your friend's house to watch a ball game or something. He has a long sloping driveway. You're not used to that. You have a flat driveway. So you pull up, you park your car, you get up, you go inside. You didn't put your parking brake on because you're not used to having to do that. And your car rolls backwards. It rolls down that hill. It rolls into the bushes on the other side of the road and splat. Kills an elderly nun that was in those bushes. I don't know, gathering mushrooms or something. She's flat as a pancake, dead as a doornail because you didn't put your parking brake on. Should you go to jail forever? Your negligence with a tool, your automobile, just caused someone else to die. You didn't have any premeditation of it. You didn't have any intention of it. You weren't even thinking about it when you didn't set your parking brake. Should you go to jail for murder? Well, no, I don't think anyone would say that. And we as gun owners have to see it just that way. He was negligent with a tool under certain circumstances, and that caused someone else to lose their life. He should have checked that gun. Whether that's common in his industry or not, common sense says you don't point a gun at someone and pull the trigger. And he did pull the trigger. That's garbage that he never pulled the trigger. That trigger was being held back by his finger at one point or another when it went off. So He did something negligent, someone else suffered, just like you did if you didn't set your parking brake and now you got a flat dead nun. But that's not murder, and you shouldn't be treated like it's murder. We should be saying Alec Baldwin needs to get charged with involuntary manslaughter, and he should be soaked in the civil courts and receive, a reasonable level of punishment from the criminal courts, probably probation. Unless, of course, he's someone who has shown in the past that he's continually negligent. That's about the only time I would support someone being locked up for just negligence. Because we so often use the prison systems these days, well, for one, to make money for big business, and two, to just punish people for the sake of punishment. That's not what prison's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about punishment and rehabilitation. Rehabilitation more so. So I think prisons should be reserved for people that are dangerous, that are a danger to their community. They're likely to do something bad again. And like I said, if you could show, well, he has a history of negligent acts and people keep getting hurt, well, then someone could be locked up because they're a danger. But I don't think we're going to be able to show that in this case. So I think he should probably get probation, probably get some fines, get a criminal record, and then he should be soaked in the civil courts by the family of the victim. That's what we should be hoping for as gun owners. We don't want to set the precedent that guns are special, and if you do something negligent with a gun, well, then your punishment should be harsher simply because the tool that was used. We don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Do you want to do that? No. So even though it's Baldwin and a lot of people aren't fond of him, and I got nothing against Baldwin. I'm one of the few people that I find him entertaining. I loved Beetlejuice. I liked him on 30 Rock. I have found him on a professional level entertaining over the years. Personally, I don't think I'd want to spend 2 minutes with him because our ideals are a little bit different. But still, he's a citizen of the United States. He's protected by the Constitution from cruel and unusual punishment. This wasn't murder. It was gross negligence. If he's not a danger to the community anymore, he shouldn't be locked up in prison, just like you and I shouldn't if we make a mistake. Like, let's say you leave your shotgun leaning up against a wall in your apartment, and you tell your friend, hey, they're over outside helping you put a new water pump on your car. And they say, hey, I got to go to the bathroom. And you say, oh, yeah, it's the second door on the right. Just go on in. They open your door and, they slam it behind them. And when they slam it, your shotgun falls over, shoots them. Should you go to jail for murder for that? No, of course you shouldn't. You should have maybe made sure your shotgun wasn't in a situation where it would fall overloaded and go off. If someone slams the door, that was negligence. You didn't safely secure it, and you let someone else walk into that environment. But you didn't commit murder. And the chances of you doing that again are probably very slim, so you shouldn't go to jail. Now, should you be responsible civilly for all that person's medical bills, the loss to their family, etc.? Well, of course you should. You committed a crime. But it wasn't murder. Same thing with Baldwin. It wasn't murder. It was involuntary manslaughter. He should be punished, and I'm pretty sure he'll take a plea deal and get the least punishment possible. But where he should really suffer, like I was saying, is in civil court, where the family of his victim should be able to soak him for pretty much everything he's got.